Hello, it's Josh Kelly with Joshua Kelly Piano, and today I want to talk about rhythm or rhythmic practice. So rhythm is incredibly important within music. It's one of the most fundamental compositional devices used when we listen to or learn particular pieces. But I don't want to talk about techniques that will overcome particularly syncopated or polyrhythmic structures, but more to do with rhythmic structures that are very similar in its compositional style. So 8, 16, 32 bars of semiquavers or triplets or whatever it may be, where the rhythm is very repetitive. Because in my experience, and I can think of particular examples where it's a lot harder for me to memorize, say, a Bach prelude where pretty much the entire prelude is just semiquavers all the way through than it is to memorize, say, a Chopin nocturne where it's got this beautiful syncopated melody over the top. And the melody kind of helps ground you in this memorization process. So we're going to look at two primary extracts. One is a Bach prelude, the other is a Chopin Ballade, the end of the fourth Ballade in F minor, which has triplets all the way through, more or less, towards the end. But before I do that, I want to talk a little bit about the methodology behind how we would go about practicing certain sections, and perhaps there are particular sections in your pieces that maybe aren't semiquavers or triplets. There are some other rhythm used which is particularly difficult because it sustains over a period of time. So I'm going to introduce you to a technique that's perhaps the most universally transferable, and by that I mean it doesn't really matter what the genre or style you're dealing with is, whether it be Baroque, classical, romantic, 20th century or beyond. This, perhaps, for lack of a better term, is kind of a one-size-fits-all technique that really just deals with the actual rhythmic structure rather than taking into account the stylistic nuances that would be incumbent within different genres. So, if we imagine, say, a full bar of semiquavers in 4/4, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you're on to your next bar. Okay, so what this basically does is it takes each beat, so you have 4 semiquavers per beat, so you have 4, 8, 12, 16 semiquavers per bar. And this essentially adds another semiquaver to each beat, so you have basically 5 semiquavers per beat. So you'll have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this 5th semiquaver, we're going to use that as a rest. So when you have in a bar 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, what we're going to do is insert the rest at different points within the semiquaver rhythm. So the first exercise would be to insert the semiquaver rest after the first actual semiquaver. So the original, so let's just take 2 beats in a bar. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4. So inserting the semiquaver rest after the first actual semiquaver, we're going to go 1 rest 2 3 4, 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 and you'll use that rhythmic device over whatever passage you're playing within the piece. So the second exercise obviously would be to insert the rest after the second semiquaver. So instead of going 1 rest 2 3 4, you're going to go 1 2 rest 3 4, 1 2 rest 3 4, 1 2 rest 3 4, 1 2 rest 3 4. So hard to click at the same time. Okay, and then the third exercise will obviously be to insert the rest after the third semiquaver section. So we'll go 1 2 3 rest 4, 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 1 2 3 rest 4. And then the final exercise will be to insert the rest at the end of the sequence. So we'll have 1 2 3 4 rest, 1 2 3 4 rest, 1 2 3 4 rest, 1 2 3 4 rest. So essentially what you're doing is you're making each of these 4 semiquavers into kind of like a division of 5. And what this just allows you to do is change the rhythm in the passages that you'll be learning, and just allow you to internalize the music better. So it's better for your muscle memory. It's better to learn the notes, of course, and the geography of where the notes are if you've got difficult leaps in the piece. And it just allows you to have a better understanding as well of the harmonic structure, where the melodies are in the case of Baroque music, where the inherent lines are within the different sections. and it's just a really good exercise that I use pretty much all the time on everything that I do. So what we'll do as an example, we'll take two extracts, as I mentioned before, the Bach Prelude and the Chopin Ballade, and we'll see how this technique fits into both styles, just to prove a point that, you know, you can transfer it over the different styles. But before we do that, say you have a piece where it doesn't have 4 semiquavers, say you're in triplets, it's exactly the same exercise. So say you have 3 triplets, you'd just insert the rest after the first triplet, after the second triplet, after the third triplet, and essentially basically what you'll be doing then is making them not triplets, you'll be making them as basically semiquavers, because you'll be inserting a 4th unit after that. So you'll be going 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3, and then basically you just insert the same. So you just go 1 and 2 3 1 and 2 3 1 and 2 3. So let's go on to the extracts, first Bach and then Chopin, and let's play these through. So this is the same piece that we used for the ghosting video last week, the Bach Prelude in E major from Book 2, number 9. And I'll just play the first 4 bars just to give us an idea of what it sounds like, just in case you didn't see that video, and then we'll take it from there and insert the methodology that we just talked about. Okay, and of course for the purposes of this video we're going to kind of ignore talking about the phrasing and the musicality behind it. We're just going to focus on the rhythmic aspects of the piece. So doing the first exercise, so instead of, and of course this prelude is in 3/4, but that doesn't make much of a difference in terms of what we're talking about today. So the same exercise, semiquavers, so we have 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4. And we're going to go 1 rest 2 3 4 1 rest 2 3 4 1 rest 2 3 4. Okay, so that will become apparent when we get into kind of the more semiquaver sections. It starts off in quavers, and we have a dotted minim there. So allow that exercise to kick in. So that's inserting the rest after the first semiquaver. Then the second exercise, of course, is the 1 2 rest 1 2 rest 1 2 rest 1 2 rest. Then the third exercise, inserting the rest after the third semiquaver. So we're going to go 1 2 3 rest 4 1 2 3 rest 4 1 2 3 rest 4. And of course, sometimes with the left hand, with it, you're kind of messing with the time signature a little bit. It kind of messes with how the left hand relates to the right, which isn't a massive deal when you're practicing it. You know, it's just part and parcel of the exercise. So, okay, so then the final exercise is inserting the semiquaver rest after all 4 of the written semiquavers. So 1 2 3 4 rest 1 2 3 4 rest 1 2 3 4 rest. So let's give that a quick go. And that completes the exercise, and then you can take that at whatever tempo you want, fast or slow, and fill the rest of the piece out with this exercise. And this really does help. It's helped me immensely since I learnt it with my tutor at Leeds College of Music. So the same exercise we're going to do is with the Chopin Ballade, the coda starting from bar 211 from the 4th Ballade. And this is unusual because Chopin writes this piece as he would write semiquavers. Obviously it's tripleted, so again we're going back to the idea that, 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3. So I'll just give you a quick demo of the first 4 bars in this piece, and we'll then break it down and insert the technique that we've just used in the Bach. So just a quick demo there of what the opening of the coda sounds like. So inserting that technique, we're going to insert the rest after the first triplet. So let's just give that a go. So the second exercise would obviously be to insert the semiquaver, or the triplet rest in this case, after the second triplet. So let's give that a go. Then the third exercise will be to insert the rest after all 3 of them. So and that completes it for this case because we've only got 3 subdivisions. I'd just like to say before I sign off that I'm now giving lessons over video conferencing software, so Skype predominantly, but I use FaceTime and others as well, depending on whatever is mutually beneficial. So I'll leave my email address into the description if that is something that would interest you. I hope that this video has been beneficial for all those who struggle with rhythm, and I hope that this exercise will be of use to you in your own practice. So until next time, I'll see you then.